welcome to the studio. In this video we're going to be putting together this landscape painting right behind me. We're going to break it down right from looking at the reference, editing the reference, all the way to the finished painting. I hope you enjoy it.
So what I've got here is a reference image that I've taken. Now I've got it in Photoshop, and what I'm going to do is start getting it ready to paint. So the lighting in it is interesting, but I can always play around and I can do a lot of my experimentation about how I want this to be laid out, how I want the lighting situation to be. I can play around with a lot of that right here in Photoshop. Now I've kind of changed the composition a little bit and just changed the shadow values a little bit to make it a little more interesting. So from here I can go, and I'm actually going to just freehand sketch it right onto a wooden panel, and we can create a piece from there. Sometimes I'll do a paint like study sketch, but this one I'm feeling pretty comfortable to go right onto the canvas.
Alright, so the next step here is to prep the canvas, or in this case the panel. So let's get some gesso on here. For this, I'm not too fussy about it being super smooth, especially with a landscape painting. So I just throw some on, and I'm just going to spread it out with a brush. You can use, there's so many different ways to do this. Some people can use, you can use like a squeegee. You can use a big like house painter's brush. For me, when I'm doing a landscape, I like the substrate I'm working on to have a bit of life to it in itself, so I'll quite often put some gesso down and just not worry too much about it being super smooth. It's just kind of fun to have its own little shape, so we'll just get this all spread out. Alright, so now that I got my panel all primed and ready to go with gesso, I'm gonna tone the canvas. Alright, so I've got my palette poured here and I'm ready to start sketching on. Let's just go over the colors really quick. I've got two warm colors. I've got burnt sienna and yellow ochre. I've got one intermediate color, which is this brilliant yellow green. I've got my cool and my darks in the same pile here, and that's Payne's gray. And I've got some titanium white, which we'll use for toning down the different colors. Alright, so we're back at the painting. I've got it basically sketched on. I know it kind of just looks like a mess right now. I'll get out of here so it focuses on the painting. Alright, so let me jump in here a little bit. I've got most of my color blocked in now. You can see some big shadow areas, you can see some highlights, but everything needs to be defined now. It's just kind of a bit messy. So I gotta decide how defined I want it to be. But I definitely know that I still got some coverage to make. I got some decisions to make about how defined certain areas are. I still gotta get some, I gotta get this water looking a little more white all through this waterfall here. But generally what I'm doing now is switch to a smaller brush, and I'm just gonna go in and kind of start picking out some of my highlights and shadows and just defining edges that I want to be defined and just kind of breaking it up that way. And there we have it, a finished landscape painting. I hope you enjoyed that video. I hope you enjoy my work. If you like my work, please check out my website, artbycaseybrom.com. Please comment on this video. Let me know what I should paint next, what you liked about this video, and even what you didn't. Thanks so much. See you next time.